back to Beyond the News, and we should say Beyond the Sports now, because JB is our guest tonight, John Burton. Thank you for being here once again.
It's great to be here, Carrie, and you know, I've been meaning to get on this show for a while.
Of course
I really
you
have. It's just, you know, scheduling
we did ask
and
you
back
a few months ago.
Yeah, and there were some
busy.
scheduling conflicts,
Yes.
but I'm here.
On your day
Anything
off.
for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. So it means it's your chance to call in, ask JB some questions about his own life, how he got into this crazy business, what he did before this business. I think you might be a little bit shocked. Have you talked much about this?
You know, if people bring it up, sure.
Okay.
I mean, you know, I've posted a lot of stuff on social. Last week I posted a picture of myself from my college TV days.
Yes,
when I had the
so
fade and the cheesy
good.
mustache. I was trying to look like Eddie Murphy.
I
You know
loved
what I
it.
mean?
Yeah, I mean, you did in your own way.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So I had the mustache and the fade and the little skinny suit. I was real skinny back then. There it is. Look at that.
Look how
Look
cute
at that
you
guy.
are.
I
And
look like
you still got those dimples.
I look like I came off the you know, an extra in the Color Me Bad video. You know, look at that. Look at that suit.
So that was your college days.
Yeah, Plattsburgh State Television at Plattsburgh State, New York, and our hockey team was really good, one of the best teams in Division III, and so we would broadcast the games.
Yeah.
And I believe we did them. Did we do them live or did we do them tape delay? Either way, I was the guy between periods interviewing the players, and it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Yeah, and I mean, you know, you learn how to kind of ad-lib some questions.
Yes.
You have to pay attention to the game, know what questions to ask and stuff like that. So it was a lot of fun. The guys were great, and they won the championship that year. And I'm just saying.
Bringing some good luck.
I don't know about that, but I tell you what, it was a lot of fun. And Bob Emery, the longtime coach at Plattsburgh State Hockey, he was there for over 30 years. He just retired. So
Oh, wow.
he's probably not watching this, but Coach, if you are, congratulations on your retirement.
That's awesome. Let's go to the lines. We have Wayne on the line. Hi, Wayne.
What's up, Wayne?
Yeah, good evening. Thank you for the time.
Sure, go ahead.
I just want to say what a terrific job both of y'all are doing.
Oh, thank you.
I mean, it's TV worth watching.
Oh, you're very kind.
And the question I want to ask Mr. Burton, you seem like you're so enthusiastic about reporting the sports. How much time do you spend researching? And it's kind of like, best way to explain it, it's like the lady with the weather. She has all this research, but she only has 3 minutes to report it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How in the world do you do it?
I don't
And
know,
how
Wayne.
far back-
I don't know. I mean, there, you know, on any given day. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, would you like to have like more time? Now I know every once in a while y'all have like a 30-minute extra.
Right.
I think I encourage the station to promote that because you know what can you report in 3 minutes, and it's not fair to y'all to have 3 minutes after spending all that time researching. Do you agree?
In a word, yes. But, you know, I do understand, Wayne, I appreciate you saying that because, you know, that's what, you know, when you're doing local TV affiliate sports, which I've done my whole career and been blessed to do, that's been the #1 battle, right?
Yeah.
You know, more
You're
time. We
always
need more
trying to get more
time. We need more time. And certain times of the year, man, you know, especially like in the fall when all the sports are meshing together, right?
Sure.
You got college football, which is big here. You got the NFL with the Titans, and, you know, you've got you know, hockey starting and college basketball starting, and there's just not enough time, and sometimes, you know, you get a lot of people that will call or email and say, hey, you know what, you didn't cover such and such and such. I'm really disappointed, and you try to explain to them, I only have so much time, and that's when it becomes difficult, Carrie, right? You have to kind of prioritize. All right, this, and this we have to get
all
on.
I can do.
And everything else we'll try to get it on. So, but fortunately, as Wayne said, we do have our 30-minute Sunday night show, the Electric Power Company's Sunday Sports Central, which I co-host with Steve Lehman, which is a blast because it allows us to be creative, and it really, I'm really thankful to News Channel 5 to allow us to have that platform every Sunday all year round, because a lot of people just do it seasonally, right? They allow us to do that every Sunday, and it's an opportunity for the station to showcase their sports talent. And like I said, we can have more time to talk about stories and come up with good ideas for stories and be creative. And you know, working with Steve Lehman on that show is amazing because his mind works so creatively. He comes up with these cool ideas every week for the show, even when there's not a lot of stuff going on. You know, we still fill a 30-minute show, and it's still compelling and it's still fun. And so, you know, he's kind of the creative force behind the show. I just kind of show up and say, all right, man, what are we doing? What do you need me to do? But yeah, to be able to at least once a week have that kind of extended time, that sports extra time, is a blessing. So whatever we can't get to during the week, we try to put on that show.
Good.
But yeah, we're always,
and you know that
but we always want more time.
Rory and I would love to give you more time on Friday nights in the fall for football.
That's right. That's right. See, we do the high school football show on Friday nights, and you know, it's so funny when you guys toss to me and say, "Hey, big night of high school football," and you got the big smiles on your faces, knowing that your weekend's starting a little bit early. Hey, it's all good though. But it's that show's a lot of fun, you know, because we're able to combine some of the high school football highlights with the news of the day, and it's always good to get a little extended time. So, you know, it's the fight we fight in local TV affiliate sports. But here, man, you know, we're allowed to do a lot of cool stuff, so no complaints here.
And we're all kind of duking it. I mean, I guess news gets the widest or the biggest piece of the pie.
Sure, of course.
But weather wants more time. Sports wants more time. We're like, no, we got the biggest story. No, we've got the biggest story. But it is a constant fight in the newsroom.
And you know what? The people that run news departments, they love that. They love it when they come up to them and say, hey, I've got some stuff that we need to get on the air. So we try to do that as much as possible.
Speaking of which,
yes,
you know what I'm going to ask you, don't you?
I don't.
The story that I've been so excited about that you got the big exclusive on, Christian Abercrombie.
Oh, man.
We talked about this for weeks.
Yeah, for those that don't know, Christian Abercrombie was a Tennessee State football player that was critically injured last year in the Vanderbilt game. He suffered a serious brain injury, had to undergo emergency surgery. It was touch and go for a while, but a couple weeks ago I was able to drive to Atlanta along with our producer Brian McKeegan, and we sat the family down, Christian's mom and his dad. Christian's doing great. He's on the road to recovery. He wants to play again, and we were the first station in Nashville to get an exclusive interview with Christian and his family, and I'm telling you, I've been able to do a lot of cool stories. That ranks right up there because you saw how positive the family is and how thankful they are that he's still around. And I was able to get a picture with Christian, and that was a fun day. You know, we drove up to Atlanta and did the interview and came back the same day.
And got it on the air the next day.
Got it on the air the next day, and then we did the extended form that Sunday on the Sports Sunday show. So that was an amazing day. It was an emotional day for me because it was a story that I wanted to do. And folks, this one right here is the one that said, hey,
are you going to get this interview?
You got to get this interview. I mean, you're the one, seriously, you're the one that inspired me to put the extra time in. And it took a while to get.
I'm sure, yeah,
but,
I'm glad you did.
I didn't want to let you down, Carrie.
You did not, because I was like, okay, let's watch this, let's watch this. You know, I was just so inspired from day one of when his parents, particularly his mother, went in front of the cameras. And it really was day one of this injury. And she said, no, he's going to live, and he's going to walk again, and he's going to talk again. And the doctors were like, we just don't know.
Yep. It was touch and go.
You could tell they really did not have a lot of hope. His mom, though, no. She's like, we serve a mightiful God, and this is going to happen.
Stacey Abercrombie, Christian's mom, is one of the most positive, God-fearing people I've met. Christian's father, Derek Abercrombie, a great man. They just said, you know what? We are going to kind of deal with this for about 15 minutes, and after that, it's all positive thoughts. It's not about us anymore. It's about Christian. And you know, he just posted a picture today on his Instagram site where he says, hey, I'm going to play again. And it was one of the most satisfying, best stories that I ever had the pleasure of being a part of. And they were great, and they were so welcoming and accommodating, and to be able to go into their home and have them relive what they went through with their son, and have Christian relive what he went through. But they're so positive, and they're so looking forward to the future. And I told Christian, I said, you know, if you play football again someday, I'm going to be right there in the front row. I don't care where it is. Yeah, I'll be there. That's amazing. I was very happy and pleased, and to do that story. And I got to thank you for giving me the inspiration to really get after it. I think that we all need to hear those stories of hope and miracles. I mean, miracles do happen, and that was pretty much a miracle right there. So. Okay, I want to take a giant U-turn here. Go from the story of hope and miracles to your own playing days. You are a sports guy. Rugby was your sport. I played for 19 years. That's amazing. I mean, rugby is not a sport that we hear about a lot, especially here. Right. How did you get into rugby? Well, I was an ex-high school football player,
Yeah.
and then wasn't highly recruited because I wasn't very good. But when I transferred to Plattsburgh State, I went to junior college first. I got a 2-year degree, and I said, you know what, this college thing's kind of fun. I think I'm going to keep going. So when I transferred to Plattsburgh State, I found out they had a rugby team, like a club rugby team. It was intercollegiate club, not intercollegiate. I said, sounds like it might be kind of fun. Check it out. And I fell in love with the sport immediately. So I played my last 2 years of college, and then every city I lived in, I played for the local men's club. Like I played for the Syracuse Chargers, I played for the Buffalo Old Boys, and then I played for Pittsburgh, which was Pitt City. And I ended up playing for 19 years.
I mean, it's a pretty rough sport.
Yeah, it's not that bad. I mean, there's, you know.
You show up with a few shiners or, you know, a nose out of whack or what?
It was funny because I'm working in Syracuse and I was the weekend guy, and my Monday through Friday guy, Dan Horde, great guy. He's actually the radio play-by-play voice of the Cincinnati Bengals now, and one of my mentors in the business. And every day he'd be like, "Are you crazy? What are you doing? What happens if you get hurt?" And you know me, I'm in my early 20s, and I'm not going to get hurt. Are you crazy? So I go up to this big tournament in Lake Placid, New York. First time I get the ball. I got the weekend off. I got the week off after that. It's going to be the greatest vacation ever. Playing a game 10 o'clock in the morning. I get the ball. I juke a couple of guys. I get tackled. Broke my ankle.
Oh.
So I had a week off after I got home, but then that Sunday I had to go to work.
Yeah.
And so I'm hobbling around, and lo and behold, my producer was off. No interns that day.
You were shooting your own stuff on crutches.
I'm running around, editing, trying to get the show on. I got on the set, and I was like, sweat was pouring off of me because I was running around so much. So I go to video, and my news anchor, Chris Lawrence, great guy, he's like dabbing me with a tissue while I'm doing, And this was after I said, I'm not going to get hurt. But, you know, when you're young, you just think you're Superman and you're 10 feet tall and bulletproof. But I kept playing. I mean, there were mornings, like I used to go in, put in the 6 o'clock show for sports, write it, and have my producer come in and just kind of fill in the blanks. I'd go play a rugby game, go home, take a shower, come back about 5:45, and I would do the sports. Slide in and do the sports. I was a maniac.
Now, is there a rugby team here?
There is, there's Nashville Rugby Club, and I haven't been able to reach out to them because I was thinking about maybe just coming out and maybe helping coaching, but I got so much going on right now. But they do a great tournament every spring. It's called Nash Bash, and it's great. And they get teams from all over the country, men's and women's teams from all over the country to come in, which is a lot of fun. But I fell in love with the sport, and I just had that athlete's mentality, and it helped me kind of exercise some demons from when I played in high school. And I think I left a lot on the table when I played in high school, and this helped me kind of exercise those demons. But it was a lot of fun. You haven't lived till you've been at the bottom of a scrum with like 29 other guys on you.
No, I guess not. Don't play two.
I wouldn't recommend that for you, Carrie.
No, I don't think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to go on living without doing that.
But I met some incredible people, and I got to travel all over the country for tournaments and stuff. And I don't know, man. It just got in my blood, you know. And I took pride as one of the few African Americans in this country that played that sport and played for a long time. You know, a lot of guys were in and out, but I stuck with it because I wanted. For whatever reason, I just wanted to be good at club rugby, so I just kept playing, you know?
I can see it in your eyes. It gets your intensity.
Yeah, man. It's the ultimate challenge. It really is, because you have to be physically strong, you have to be fast, you have to be quick, but the endurance you have to play, because you don't just run a play and then you go back to the huddle. It's continuous. You keep playing. And so it helped me get in and stay in pretty good shape, and I made some incredible friendships along the way that I am still blessed to have now. And it was a great. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Cool. We have to take another quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about John Burton, the wrestler. The stories just keep getting better. So stay with us. We'd love to hear from you too. Go ahead and give us a call during the break. We're coming right back.
So, same time next week?
Well, of course. Put away a few bucks, feel like $1 million. For free tips to help you save, go to Feed the Pig.
It's a big responsibility.
Oh, it's huge. I know, it's huge.
And the salary.
Oh my god, yes.
Right?
I mean, like, I was about to move in with my parents, and right before, yeah, so this saved me.
I really believe in you, you know?
Thank you. It's nice to hear that from someone.
These are cool. Did you, what did you...
Thank you for joining us on this fun Monday night. Thanks to my guests going beyond the sports or beyond the news with John Burton tonight. Whatever. We'll just kind of mix it a little bit. 615-737+ is the number to call if you want to ask the questions. In the meantime, I'm having a lot of fun asking the questions, and I promise.
Now, have you been a guest on this show, Carrie?
I can't be the guest and the host.
Yeah, that's what you should do. You should interview yourself one night. That would be incredible.
Incredibly freaky. Is she talking?
Just switch chairs?
She answering the questions and answering them? That's weird.
I would watch.
Okay. I want to talk about John Burton, the wrestler.
Oh,
this is
goodness.
a real thing.
Yeah.
We have pictures of it. When did this happen, and why did it happen?
Oh, well, you know, right place at the right time, maybe wrong place at the wrong time, I don't know.
John, look at you.
Yeah. That was in West Newton, Pennsylvania. That's my manager, Dr. Feelbad.
Okay.
Yeah, great guy. He was also the promoter of the shows. So I've been a wrestling fan my whole life, right? Yes. I've been a wrestling fan since I was 10, right? My first wrestling hero was a guy by the name of Tony Atlas, this big, jacked up black dude. He was a bodybuilder, Mr. USA. He was, you know, he was that dude. And I was like, I want to be like him when I grow up. And he's the guy that actually, you know, encouraged me to work out and that kind of stuff. So I've been a wrestling fan my whole life, right? I was a Hulkamaniac in the 80s when Hulk Hogan and the business got big. And then later on when Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Attitude Era, and The Rock started going, you know, I became a big fan again. And then I was away from it for a little while. And then when John Cena got popular, I became a big John Cena fan, and Randy Orton and Undertaker and all that kind of stuff. So one night I'm in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
I'm out at
were you doing sports at this time?
Yeah, I'm doing sports in Pittsburgh, and I was out one night and I had a John Cena t-shirt on, and this good-looking dude comes up to me. He's all tatted up, and I'm like, oh god, what's this? He's like, hey man, I see you got a John Cena t-shirt on. I'm like, yeah. He goes, you're a wrestling fan? I'm like, yeah. He goes, well, I'm a pro wrestler, and my dad owns a company just north of Pittsburgh in Butler, Pennsylvania. I'm like, he goes, you're the guy from, you know, Channel 4 News, right? I said, yeah. You're a sports guy? I said, yeah. He said, listen, we run shows every month in Butler. We'd love for you to come up and be a guest ring announcer. I said, cool. Done. So they run on Fridays, and I was, you know, I took that Friday off, and I drove up to Butler, and I met, you know, actually the guy that went up to me is, if you're a wrestling fan, you know who he is. His name's Corey Graves. He's one of the main announcers on WWE right now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, on Monday Night Raw and Tuesday Night SmackDown. So she's looking at me, folks, like, what is he talking about? You don't follow wrestling, do you, Carrie? All right, anyway, so
that's a good story.
Well, thanks.
I'm listening.
I will continue. So I met Corey's dad, I met his whole family, and I did the guest ring announcing thing. It was a lot of fun. Just a local independent show, you know, no big names, but, you know, good wrestlers from around the area. Sure. And I got to be behind the scenes and kind of see how the sausage is made for a wrestling show. And it was fascinating. I loved it.
You got the bug.
So then Corey's dad comes up to me and he says, listen, and there was a guy I know, Bubba Snyder, who was a morning DJ in Pittsburgh, still is. He's a trained wrestler. In fact, he was a former champion at one of the local companies in Pittsburgh. And he's a bad guy. He said, I want to do a match. I want to train you to be a wrestler, and I want to put you in a match with Bubba. And we're going to do it in Monroeville, where you live, and you're going to win. I said, I'm in. So Corey and his dad trained me, and it was supposed to be a one-time thing. Okay. So we had the match all mapped out. We were good to go, no problems. 3 days before the match, Bubba sends me a text. He's like, I have to go in for emergency throat surgery. You're a DJ, so you gotta, I said, I can't do the match. I'm like, what are we gonna do? So we put our heads together. We ended up, I had a match with another guy, my buddy, who's actually one of my best friends, my buddy Aaron, who was a bad guy wrestler at the time. And so we kind of milked the storyline to where I'm representing Bubba because Bubba, you're beneath him. You know, he doesn't need to wrestle you, so I'm taking his place. So we had the match.
Did you still get to win?
And I won.
Aha.
And the place went nuts.
Yay!
And we had a blast. And we had great chemistry in the ring, him and I, because we're about the same size. So I thought, you know what? Hey, I did it. I can say that's off my bucket list.
Right.
I worked a wrestling match. Crowd went great. Crowd was great. And so, but what happened was, local promoters started calling me and emailing me saying, hey, we want to use you because, you know, we thought you did a pretty good job. We heard about it. So it started to become some buzz. So I go to this company in McKeesport, Pennsylvania, and I ended up starting to wrestle there. And I wrestled as myself, John Burton, but I was what's called in the industry a baby face or a good guy, okay? So my whole gimmick, as we say in the business, you know, I'm local sports celebrity, giving wrestling a try. I love the people of Pittsburgh. With the fans of Pittsburgh behind me, I can't lose. And my first feud was with my buddy Aaron, who wrestled by the name of Ashton Amherst. Right. And so he was like, you don't belong here, this, that. We had this whole thing, and we went back and forth. And I ended up winning a mid-card title there.
So, like, how long did this go on?
I did it steadily for about 3.5 years. Oh, wow. So I ended up working for another company at the same time out in West Newton, Pennsylvania. And I wrestled. It was a total freak thing. I was actually going with my two buddies who were on the card that night. I was just along for the ride. And then my buddy Ryan calls me up and he says, hey, do you have your gear? I was like, yeah, I just brought it just in case. He said, can you work a match tonight? I'm like, yeah, I guess. He's like, yeah, we had somebody call off sick. So I ended up working a match with another guy, this dude, Teddy Fine, great guy from Philadelphia. And the promoter says, you're the heel tonight because Teddy's one of our biggest baby faces. You have to be a bad guy.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. It was phenomenal.
So you like being a bad guy?
I love being a bad guy wrestler.
JB.
So I came out there and I'm just as cocky
Which
as
is not
whatever.
your personality at all.
Well, here's the thing. The best wrestling characters are yourself, but with the volume turned way up. Okay. So the John Burton babyface wrestling character, you know, it's an extension of what I'd like to be. I'd really like to be there for everybody and take pictures with all the kids and sign all the autographs. The bad guy, John Burton wrestler, you know, I'm bitter, I'm angry, I'm like, I'm from New York, you people from Pittsburgh are all beneath me, you guys all stink. And I mean, I had that crowd hating me. I'll tell you a quick story. We did a show the week after the Pittsburgh Steelers lost to the Green Bay Packers in the Super Bowl, a game that I covered. So I come out and I grab the mic and I said, you remember that song by Wiz Khalifa, Black and Yellow? No. All right, it was a rap song called Black and Yellow, and the Steelers kind of adopted it because their colors are black and yellow, black and gold. And the Green Bay Packers are green and gold, but green and yellow. So I grab the mic and I go, you know what it is, green and yellow, just as I predicted, your Pittsburgh Steelers choked in the Super Bowl. They are booing me. And so I ended up wrestling this kid, Strider, who was one of the biggest baby faces in the area, right? He was a great kid, ex-rugby player like myself. We're about the same size. And the crowd loved him. Like, they just loved it. He came out, people went nuts. He was what we call in the business over with the crowd. And they hated me. So I wrestled him in a match. And I went, not only do I win, I cheated to win. And I'm telling you, I thought they were going to jump the rails.
You had to get out there through the back door.
I cheated to beat him, and I'm just being cocky. I'm just bringing it. Come on, bring it. And people are like, little kids are like, being a bad guy wrestler is so
I got this story.
Much fun because you control the match as a bad guy. Because you don't, you know, when you're a good guy, you have to do what's called taking the heat, right? The bad guy's got to beat on you for a while, then you make your comeback, and then however the match goes, it goes. When you're the bad guy, I can get you in the corner, I can hit you with a couple things, and I can go, you know, egg on the crowd for a little bit, then I can go back to beating. I can do whatever I want. I'm in complete control of the match. And I love getting on the mic and talking. And,
I am just like envisioning this fundraiser we could do with JB back in the wrestling ring, being the bad guy. Oh, I've got big plans. I've got big plans.
So I find out that I'm coming to News Channel 5, right? And I think I told you this story before. Sandy, our news director, she types up the inter-office memo saying, hey, we're pleased to announce Jonathan Burton is coming to News Channel 5 to be our new sports guy. And, you know, she lists a couple things about me. He likes to do this and that. And he even spent time as a professional wrestler with an exclamation point. She loved it.
She loves it. She told me about it on my interview that our sports guy was a wrestler once.
She loved it, right? So, Jennifer Reyes, who used to be a reporter here at News Channel 5, love her to death. We were hanging out one time, and she said, you know, for the longest time, we thought that you were a professional wrestler that was giving the whole sportscasting thing a try. I said, no, that's not exactly how it went. But long story short, I know it's kind of a long-winded story, but it was amazing. It was a bucket list thing for me, and a lot like rugby, I made some incredible friends that I still have today. And to see my friend, who I'm really tight with, I've had holiday dinners at his house, to see my friend Corey Graves become the star that he's become as a WWE announcer, because he was a wrestler, but he suffered too many concussions, and so WWE said, well, listen, we're shutting you down as a wrestler, but you have an opportunity to be an announcer, and now he's on national TV twice a week, every night. I couldn't be prouder for him. So
that's amazing. That was a great story. I even learned some lingo.
It was a little long-winded, but yeah.
That's okay. That's why we've got a whole hour here,
That's right.
All right, Lucy, I know you're on the line. Don't go anywhere. We're going to get to you right after this.